The KwaZulu-Natal Department of Education has reduced the scholar transport budget by over 190 million rand. This is a province where we saw 19 pupils killed in a road accident involving a bakkie and a truck. The bakkie was transporting the children from school. Over 157,000 pupils use scholar transport in the province. Let's discuss this more with Equal Education's junior organiser, Mcebisi Kunene. Thank you so much, Mr. Kunene, for your time this evening. So we've just said there 157,000 pupils or learners in the province relying on scholar transport. What impact will this budget cut have on learners and equality in education in the province specifically?
Thank you for having me, and good evening to yourself and the viewers. This has a hugely negative impact on the learners in KZN, especially in rural context of the province, where we see there is more of a need for scholar transport in the province. Learners often walk long distances to school, and this budget cut will limit the accessibility that learners have to their right to education, this constitutionally protected right to education. So I think the negative impacts that we'll be seeing in the schools are, there'll be an increase in absenteeism, an increase in dropout rates, because learners will not be looking forward to walking such long distances to school. Already, when we've been on the ground, we've seen learners cite reasons such as unsafe terrain, flooding, and recently we've seen tornadoes in the province. So it's really unsafe and treacherous journeys that learners go on every day. And we think we will see a drop in an increase in absenteeism and an increase in the dropout rates of learners in the province.
Looking at the situation, parents who are absolutely determined to get their children to school under the pressure of limited finances and income might have to choose even more unsafe modes of transport to get their children to school. What are your fears around that?
Yeah, I mean, parents that are able, will be forced to use alternative modes of transport such as bakkies and vans. We've often seen this trend happening where, because of the lack of learner transport, parents, often do use this mode of transportation, which is very unsafe. I mean, we've seen in Pongola and in numerous other provinces, not just KZN, where learners have lost their lives because they are packed like sardines, overloaded and cramped in the back of these vans that are actually not meant to carry passengers. These are transport. This is transport that is meant to carry, stuff like your hardware. This is supposed to be used for not to carry people, but because parents are forced and they want, their children to secure their children's future and for their children to have an access to, education and a chance at improving their lives, they are forced to use this unsafe transport. And we've seen government, be quiet and, not sort of heed the call to provide more budget allocations and provide more transport for schools that are in need.
So the hope here is that Treasury will address the shortfall. Sorry to interrupt you there. Do you think it's an adequate solution to merely hope that Treasury will go, oh, well, actually, let's give you some more money, or perhaps to redirect funds from other programs in schools to transport? Is that sufficient in your view?
I don't believe so. We've spoken about this to say we believe there should be a conditional grant to say that will ring fence the money that should be used for scholar transport, so that other monies from other critical programs such as the National School Nutrition Program is not tapped into to fund the scholar transport for learners. We believe all programs are important, and I think a term that would coin this perfectly is to say we do not believe that the DOE should rob Peter to pay Paul. I think all programs are critical, and the government should sort of provide a conditional grant which will ring fence the money needed for a successful implementation of the learner transport program.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That was Equal Education's junior organizer, Mcebisi Kunene.